They said the courtroom had seen every kind of plea, from tears to rage, from lies to desperate bargains. But no one had ever seen anything like the little girl who stood up that day and whispered, "Free my dad, and I'll heal you." No one took her seriously at first. She was barely 9, wearing a faded pink hoodie and clutching an old teddy bear, it seems as worn as her father's soul. The courtroom snickered, even the prosecutor cracked a smile. But within moments, that smile faded. Because what followed would silence every heart in that room. Sergeant Michael Hayes was a decorated Army veteran, a single father, and a man who had already lost too much. After serving 3 tours overseas, he came home to find his wife gone, taken by cancer, and his little girl, Lily, waiting with eyes too wise for her age. To make ends meet, he took every job he could, working construction by day, security by night. Until one evening, when fate decided to test him again. He'd been accused of assaulting a man outside a bar, a man who'd mocked his uniform and called him broken. But the truth was more complicated. That man was the local district attorney's son, drunk and cruel, who had shoved Lily when she tried to pull her dad away. Michael reacted the way any father would, he protected his daughter. One punch. That's all it took to land him in handcuffs. Now he stood before Judge Helen Carter, a woman known for being cold, stern, and unmoved by emotion. To her, the law was the law, feelings didn't belong in her courtroom. The trial dragged for days. Witnesses lied. The rich man's lawyers painted Michael as a violent veteran with anger issues. No one spoke of the PTSD he fought, or how he'd refused charity after coming home, raising Lily with nothing but grit and heart. Then came the moment that changed everything. Lily had been sitting quietly for hours beside a social worker, her legs swinging nervously. But when she saw her dad's hands shaking as the judge prepared to announce the verdict, she couldn't hold back. She stood, trembling but brave, and said in her tiny voice, "Your Honor, my daddy's a good man. He fixes broken things. And I think you're broken too. If you free him, I'll heal you." The courtroom froze. The judge blinked, startled. "What did you say, young lady?" the judge asked. Lily took a deep breath. "You look sad all the time," she said softly. "Like daddy does when he misses mom. I can tell. I know how to help people who hurt inside. Daddy taught me how. He says love fixes people. I can make you feel better too, if you just let my daddy come home." The silence was so heavy, it felt like time stopped. Even the prosecutor lowered his gaze. The judge's pen trembled in her hand. Helen Carter had spent years hiding behind her black robe, her walls built high after losing her only son to a roadside bomb in Afghanistan. She'd buried that pain so deep she thought no one could see it. But that little girl, that innocent child, had seen right through her. Her voice cracked as she whispered, "Court is in recess." And she fled to her chambers, tears she hadn't shed in a decade finally breaking free. Moments later, she returned, eyes red, voice trembling. She read the verdict slowly. Case dismissed, on all charges. The courtroom gasped. Lily ran to her father, wrapping her arms around him, sobbing into his uniform. Even the officers in the back looked away, wiping their eyes. As Michael lifted his daughter up, Judge Carter stepped down from the bench for the first time in years. She knelt before Lily. "You were right," she whispered. "I was broken." Lily smiled through her tears and said, "Then we'll fix you too." From that day, Judge Carter visited them often. She became part of their lives, reading bedtime stories, helping with schoolwork, and finding peace she thought was lost forever. The story of that courtroom spread across the town, then across the nation. People called Lily the little healer. But what mattered most wasn't the fame. It was the lesson that even in the hardest hearts, compassion still has a place. Michael got a second chance, found steady work, and began volunteering at a veterans support center, helping others fight their battles with dignity. Judge Carter started a program for veterans who struggled after service, calling it Lily's Promise. And every year, on the anniversary of that trial, she'd visit their small home by the lake. They'd light a candle for Lily's mom, and Lily would always say the same thing. "Love heals everything, even the things we can't see." So if you're watching this now, take a moment. If you've ever been broken, or if someone you love is fighting silently, remember Lily's words. Love fixes people. It fixed a soldier, a judge, and maybe, it can fix you too.